Good afternoon, everybody. It's your friend Cheap Ludes. Happy Sunday. It is currently hailing here, or just raining really hard. I'm not entirely sure. Lovely Midwest afternoon. You guys want to do some fortune telling? Little Miss Cleo action? Put the Miss Cleo hat on for a second, which I think is cultural appropriation, but it's fine. If you expected me to do a Jamaican accent, you are mistaken. I will not be doing that. If you want to see a pasty white guy do Jamaican accents, go see what Chet Hanks is up to right now. Chet Hanks is wild, man. Like, that man literally thought he was Jamaican. Like, he thought he could just convert to being Jamaican if he just, like, wished it hard enough. It's Tom Hanks' child. Come on, man. Look at the other Hanks brother. Look at what he's up to. He's doing so well for himself. And then there's Chet. Not to pile on to the guy. I'm sure he's not doing great out here. He did put out a bunch of music where he was definitely dropping soft A's, though. Sketch, bro. Anyways, wait, where did Castaway take place? I feel like Tom Hanks was stranded somewhere in the Caribbean for Castaway, so maybe he has some claim to his, like, fake Jamaican heritage. I don't know, at least in his brain. That is so besides the point. Let's talk about the future of NBA 2K23, my team, at least the immediate future, aka this week. Tomorrow, Monday. I don't think we really get anything aside from a new bracket buster player to grind for. I still haven't done the most recent one because it's just like I don't feel like going to play offline to get 6 defensive rebounds with a wizard player 4 times. It sounds annoying and I don't want to do it. I will do it, but I don't want to. I'm not going to try to guess who we're going to get each individual day, so I'm just going to say some players that I think we're going to see in these grinds this week and just kind of cover it once. Number 1, Evan Turner for sure. He fits many of the parameters that we've seen. Name that you wouldn't immediately think of / wouldn't sell packs, check. Pretty dominant in college, check. Has a card already in the game, check. Evan Turner, lock it in for one of these. I'm almost certain of that. Other than that, you can't go wrong with like early 2000s Duke guys. Like Carlos Boozer, Shane Battier. I have a theory that Shane Battier is going to drop on Tuesday, which it just makes sense because the Tuesday packs are so boring, and Shane Battier is like the most boring player you can think of. So that's where I'm connecting those dots there. I don't know, man. Who else? Maybe Joakim Noah or Al Horford. Probably Noah, though, because Noah hasn't gotten a card since the very beginning. Wild cards. Okay. Luke Herringody from Notre Dame. I'm going to say, sure. Randy Foye, because that just sounds right. Who else? Drew Gooden. Drew Gooden sounds very, very right. And Patrick Patterson, because why not? And maybe Paul Millsap also. Paul Millsap makes a lot of sense too. Also, there's a bunch of dudes from the 70s and 60s and 80s that I don't feel like researching right now that could potentially get cards as well. We saw that with like, where is it? Williams versus Pinkney? Yeah, whatever. Whatever, man. We might get a moments card too. I just, looking through the NBA top performers, I can't seem to find anyone specifically that kind of, screams moments card. PJ Washington kind of went off today. Mark Williams did too. Those are kind of guys that would typically get a moments card. Other than that, the NBA's daily leader page on ESPN is just all messed up. It keeps telling me that the pages can't be found. It's a whole thing. It's like super annoying. I don't know why it does this to me. Sorry, I should just be a more avid NBA fan and just know these things off the top of my head, like some kind of American Psycho, but for basketball analytical knowledge. But sorry, it's not me. Anyone else? I mean, not really. Everyone else. Jordan Nwora. He makes sense too. Quentin Grimes. Like, Nwora makes sense. I'm hoping I'm saying that right, because he's a Pacers player and they love to give Pacers players moments cards, but whatever. Tuesday. Woo! Obviously, we're getting our final new edition packs, which are going to be exciting. And I'm sure not filled with fluff like Bracket Buster cards and current series cards, but whatever. Who can we expect? Now we're getting all 4 lock-ins. So we're going to finally see if people are going to have their investments pay off. Let's start low. Let's start with Flash. What player is going to come on Tuesday for the final Flash guy? Dude, I have no idea. I'm pretty sure this is the final one, by the way. I'm pretty certain of it. Don't know who this final player is going to be. To be honest, I don't really care all that much. I would guess that it's going to be a more recent player or a player currently in the league. I'm just going to say Bones Highland, but I have no idea. Now for the lock-in, it's going to be interesting, right? Because I feel like with the other three, there's specific roots back to a game, right? Like, obviously, Idols is 21, Signature Series is 22, and then Prime is 20, right? But there's no specific lock or kind of appearance in a prior game, because Flash has been in like every single game except for this one for some reason. So I don't really know who the lock-in's going to be. It's going to be a Galaxy Opal of some sort. But I've been kind of pouring through all the old Flash sets just to see if somebody really like stuck out to me. And the only person that really stuck out to me was Jermaine O'Neal, to be honest. Just because Jermaine O'Neal or Ilgauskas are the two that really stuck out to me, because I feel like those guys they sound like lock-in dudes, you know? There's Michael Red too, you know, there's other guys, Mo Bamba, that I remember being like kind of hyped on, but I'm trying to think, because I feel like they would do it with someone who was, you know, recognizable by the community and had some hype behind them. My obvious hope was going to be Xochi, but I don't know if they have the rights to Xochi. So, I mean, I'm just going to probably say Ilgauskas, because I think that actually sounds right, but I do think there's going to be another center lock-in, so they might not do it. Another guy would be Brian Russell, just because that totally sounds like somebody who would be a lock-in. But, alas, I have no idea, but I think the lock-in for this set is... because I've seen people say that this card's going to be good, and I've seen people say this card's going to suck, so it's either going to be good value or bad value. I think it's somewhere in the middle. I think we're just going to get a very mid card that if you lock in for it will definitely be usable, but it's like not going to be the best card in the world. Over to Idols. Probably going to be a newer player. I don't really know who that's going to be. If you haven't checked it out, TJ Warren went from 30,000 MT to 75 in the past couple days. So if you have TJ Warren, if you plan on selling these cards, to be honest, I would sell TJ Warren right now. The reason I say that is undoubtedly this lock-in, not only do I think it might disappoint you and anyone who invested, because people invested in these cards crazy, right? I think no matter what, so many people have put up or like purchased all the TJ Warrens that regardless, even if the card is ridiculously good, I still think that he's going to come down in price. I do. He's the only one that's expensive, by the way, because the odds that week were absolutely horrendous. So everyone else is pretty even. So he's going to be the gatekeeper, obviously. Also, we're getting super packs like, you know, the week after. So just understand that. But I would sell him for 75 now. I could be wrong, and you could lose out on some MT for sure, but, you know, it's fine. Anyways, who's the last Idols card? Man, I wish I knew. Kind of looking through here. I'm looking for someone that would make sense. I just really want a Bones Highland card. That's why I keep saying it. But he doesn't necessarily make sense for this. Just kind of looking through teams. I would have said somebody like a Pascal Siakam or someone of that nature, but obviously these guys that I had in mind, I've all gotten cards over the last like 2 or 3 weeks or 4, you know, whatever. So Nurkic, Pink Diamond Nurkic, that actually, you know what? I kind of like that. I think that makes sense. Lock-in, you heard it here first. I'm going to say Cade Cunningham. Could be wrong, but I just think that it kind of makes a little bit of sense in some roundabout way, and he won't really be that good. But the name alone may propel TJ Warren to being higher priced. We'll see. Signature Series, don't have a single one of these guys. They're all a little bit too expensive for my liking. I mean, Ben Wallace is over 100K, which no one even uses him, but it is a Dark Matter lock-in, so I understand. Who's going to be the final card that drops in this set? Because this is kind of like a weird group of players already, you know? Like, we have a couple legends like Rodman, Granger, Ben Wallace. But then we have De'Aaron Fox, who's like a newer player. I don't know, if I'm being honest, who it's going to be. I'm going to say it's a shooting guard, but I don't really know what shooting guard would fit the bill here. Trying to think through history. I'm going to say Eddie Jones. Eddie Jones kind of fits the bill here. So I'm going to say he's going to be the final one. I hope that's not the case because I actually want Eddie Jones because I like him, but not going to be able to get him if he's a lock-in for a Dark Matter. Who could potentially be the lock-in for this? That's going to be very interesting because I feel like it's really tough. Like, looking through the Signature Series sets, it's not going to be like a Dwayne Wade, obviously, he's in the Prime set. It's not going to be LeBron. It's not going to be Blake because we just got Blake. I don't think they would make it Karl Anthony Towns. Now let's look through Signature Series 2. It could potentially be Paul George, but I don't think it's going to be Paul George. Not going to be Jason Kidd. They wouldn't do that, right? They might do that. I don't know. My very first thought is Arvydas Sabonis. Arvydas Sabonis is somebody that I think makes sense too, because I think we're going to start seeing a lot of like centers flying out of these packs in the near future. Another thing, or a player, I should say, that I think may get a card here is Jalen Rose. If you remember back to 22, man, this Opal Jalen Rose was pretty hyped. So I actually think that makes sense. Plus, he's a bigger point guard. People would lock in for that. I'm going to say Sabonis or Jalen Rose. I actually think those make a lot of sense. And I think that would be something that would be gassed by the player base. I could easily see that happening. Or shout out to my boy Bargiani. Give it to Bargiani. Let my boy Bargiani shine. Let him shine. What was 6? I don't even remember that one. That was like Wilt, Yao, LaMelo. Yeah, I don't remember this set at all. I feel like at this point, I just don't nobody cared. Prime. For the final Prime lock-in, or the card necessary for lock-in, I'm going to go with Wilt Chamberlain or Hakeem Olajuwon. Those are the two guys that I think are going to be the final card that is put out in packs. Now, as far as the actual lock-in for Prime, that is going to be, first off, wildly expensive. The same amount as Kareem to a certain extent. But what card could it potentially be? I mean, looking through 2K20's Prime set, I mean, Wilt's in there. Tim Duncan, Derrick Rose. Don't think either of those guys are getting cards, though. Ben Simmons already has a card. Kristaps already has a card. Both of those would have been very Prime. There is Durant. Durant is very possible. It's very possible, but I think he sells too many packs on his own that I don't think that they're putting him as a lock-in. Now, I could be wrong about this, but I do think that would make sense, right? He sells too many packs on his own. Now, there are cards where I think it's possible, like Kawhi Leonard. I think it's very possible that Kawhi Leonard, it's a way better name. Kawhi, Joel Embiid. I would have said Eddie Curry if he didn't just get a card, but Kawhi or Embiid makes sense. I think this will be the biggest name player for sure, by the way. Like, this will be the player that is the biggest named because obviously it's going to be the most expensive to lock in for. So, yeah. All right, I'm going to say Kawhi, Embiid, Dirk Nowitzki, or Kevin Durant. I couldn't tell you any way, shape, or form which one of them it'll be. I just think those are pretty good guesses. Let me know what you think down in the comments, though, for sure, because I would like to hear your theories. Now, Wednesday. Wednesday, I don't think we get much of anything at all, to be honest. Obviously, new Bracket Buster cards, but that's about it. Who that's going to be, I don't know. I honestly don't care. Next Wednesday, we'll actually get our first look at Season 6, but that's neither here nor there. Wednesday will be a pretty dull day. We'll get another set of Moments of the Week players, potentially a Moments card, but probably not. Moments of the Week challenges, people still do them, so I'm not going to hate on them by any means. I just wish that they had a little bit more oomph to them. Like, there was a little bit of more of a reason to do them, I should say. Like, the prizes were just a little bit better. Majority of them are for tokens, which are worth nothing. I wish I could predict a token market update, but I just don't think that's going to happen. Like, yeah, you get one all-star pack, non-auctionable, cool, and then like the Series 2 standard. That's a slap in the face. Non-auctionable standard pack, despicable. Thursday, once again, bracket buster cards. That's it though. These are the second to last ones, so I'm hoping they're going to be opals or at least good, but I don't know. I wish I knew. Friday. This is when we finally get Glenn Rice, who I actually, by the way, I think Glenn Rice is going to be really good. I do. I actually think he's going to be fire. I've seen people say that they don't think he's going to be good. I actually think he'll be really, really good. His pink diamond, I think, was a lot better than people give him credit for. He had some great tendencies. Jump shot was a little but I think Glenn Rice, are we going to see the return of 2K20 Glenn Rice? Unlikely, right? But I think he'll be a little bit better than people expect. Honestly, I do. Now, the rest of the, actual grindable insert cards or the takeover guys, they'll probably be fun. I think all these takeover guys have been really good. The thing is, I've gone against the meta in a bunch of these. Like, instead of taking Nazir Muhammad, who was actually better, I ended up taking Michael Doliak just because it's Michael Doliak. He's funny. You know what I mean? I took Ryan Arsendanakio because I'm a Bulls fan and it's funny, instead of taking whoever it was that was significantly better than him. Justin Jackson was actually good. Like, I'm probably going to take Jared Jeffries instead of Steve Blake, but that one's a really hard one for me, I think the only bad day was really the Rip Hamilton one. I just feel like that one was just bleh. Like, I don't even remember who it was. Rip Hamilton and Elton Brand, and I don't even know why I took Rip Hamilton. The rest of them have been solid though. Shout out to my boy Cherokee Parks. You love to see it. I do hope that there's a way to go back and get some of these cards that we didn't get before, because I'd like to get, like, University of Illinois star Luther Head. That'd be great. Or perennial poster Brandon Knight. That would be great. We'll see. Either way, I think the final one would be pretty good. I mean, we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. I think they're gonna be at least mid, I want to say. Then we got Friday's packs. Now, I think that 2K is going to get the reports. Whether that happens this week or next week, they're going to get the reports that essentially tell them what we all kind of know, and that's nobody really opened the Phenom packs, which is a shame because the names in here are really, really fun, Like, people still open the packs, don't get me wrong, but not as many as they are probably used to, just because of the names involved. So I would expect them to drop a set that is a little bit more in tune with selling packs. Big names is basically what I'm saying. Now, as far as big names, we actually don't have a whole lot of big names left that haven't gotten, like, cards recently. They've actually pumped out quite a bit. But there's still guys. There's obviously Kevin Durant. Steph Curry doesn't have a dark matter. There's still plenty of guys who don't have dark matter. So I would say it's a good shot that we get Kevin Durant. And Luka Doncic. These are two guys that I think are going to get dark matters relatively soon. I'm assuming Luka will have Kevin Porter Jr. release or some other release. Michael Jordan is obviously another guy that's very, very likely to get a new card. Bull's out there. There is a lot of names, but I think if they're really trying to sell packs, it'll be one of those three guys. It'll be Jordan, Durant, or Luka. That is how I feel about it. Now, I could be wrong, but that's just me. What the theme of that pack is, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be a March Madness themed again, or like partially themed, like Phenoms was like a partially themed March Madness one. It'd be cool to see a Campus Heroes pack. But this is around the time we usually get them. But I think the Campus Heroes Bracket Busters thing is usually like a couple weeks prior. But I don't know, man. Regardless, I'm hoping for that, but I don't know what it's going to be. I think it's not going to be too long till we get fan favorites, but I don't think that's this weekend. Could be wrong, though. I guess we'll see. Other notable cards that may be in the set, besides like who I just named, it really depends on who is the top tier card, though. Because, like, obviously, if it's Michael Jordan, it's not going to be another shooting guard. If it's Durant, it's not going to be another small forward as like a top tier card. I do think Bull is coming. I also think we're going to get a massive center in some capacity, so it's going to be like a Boban, a Sabonis, an Ilgauskas, like someone of that kind of ilk. That just makes the most sense to me. But we'll see. As always, it's been your friend Sheep Lutz. I appreciate you guys watching me ramble. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.